3 cups white sugar. We're gonna cream the butter and sugar together. They're ready to be devoured. Hello friends, and welcome to the This Alaska Live Kitchen baking show. Over the last 6 months, as I have been feeding this little one and pumping, I've kind of become obsessed with the Great British Baking Show. Watched a lot of it, but I do have several things that I'm going to be making over the next few days. And I thought that I'd show you some of my favorite cake recipes and muffins. You ready? Let's do it. Today's video is sponsored by Kiwi Co. We will tell you all about why we love them a little bit later in the video. Okay, first up is my banana cake recipe. I have shown this before on the channel, but the link to the recipe no longer works. So I want to make sure I put it out there again. This is a from scratch recipe. I use bananas that go brown, then are put into the freezer. Yesterday I got them out of the freezer, left them in a bowl overnight, and then today I pushed the banana out of the peel. So I have about 3 cups of bananas, and I'm gonna double the recipe for this. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna make 1 cake and some into muffins. Like I said, this is doubled, so 1 cup butter is the first thing. And it's actually finally hot enough outside that I just left this on the counter and it's soft. I don't actually have to microwave it. 3 cups white sugar. We're gonna cream the butter and sugar together. Four eggs. Next up, we need 2 cups of sour cream. This keeps the cake really moist. Two teaspoons of vanilla. 4 cups of flour. And 2 teaspoons baking soda. ½ teaspoon of salt. I should have put that in when I did the flour and the baking soda, but I forgot. Okay, at this point, it's just like a really good white cake mix. But we're gonna add 3 cups of bananas, so 1.5 cups per recipe. Now, if you have a little bit more, I'd say that's okay. I honestly don't ever really measure my bananas. I always just use 3 to 4 per recipe. So at this point, I think there were 8 bananas. Some of them were a little smaller, but you just want good banana flavor. Okay, at this point, we have a good cake mix. We just have to decide what we want to cook it in. This makes great muffins. This makes a good like 9 by 13 pan, and then you put some frosting on top. It also makes a good bundt cake. So I think we're gonna go with bundt cake today. This will be for our first one. For our second one, we are going to do some muffins. I like using these silicone muffin liners just because you don't lose any. They come out really nicely. And like when I use the paper ones, sometimes they stick. I'm gonna put 1/3 cup into each of these, and then whatever's left over, that's gonna be what goes into the cake since I doubled the recipe. Okay, I'm 1 muffin short. I know I saw one out in the yard and I thought I picked it up and brought it back upstairs, but apparently I didn't, so we're 1 muffin short, but that's all right. into the oven at 350 degrees. I'm gonna check them after 15 minutes. I think they'll need about 20 to 25, but I don't have it written down how much for muffins, so I'll make sure to let you know once I do it. Still got a lot of batter left to do the cake. Okay, this one's gonna go in for closer to 40 minutes, but we're gonna keep our eye on them and just watch them. I think there's a rule written somewhere that if I'm gonna make a baking video, my containers are gonna be empty. This is my sugar container. My flour container has barely anything in it. So while that bakes, I'm gonna fill these up. I think it happens every time. All right, we're set to keep baking. Sometimes I start baking and there's nothing in those containers and there's also nothing in these containers, so then I have to like go to the garage and get a huge bag and fill everything up. Okay, we're 20 minutes in. It says 30 minutes, but that's since it started. And the muffins look perfect. So we're gonna pull those out. All right, 20 minutes for the muffins. Gotta let these cool a little bit. I'm trying to get them out, but they're just too hot. So good. Definitely a banana cake. It's not as dense as a banana bread. Cooks much faster. And I do like to add nuts sometimes. So if you like nuts with banana, this is a good recipe to add a few nuts in. But this time I just went plain and it's so good. Now you can frost these. I have a good recipe for cream cheese frosting. Well, it's cream cheese, buttercream mixture. I don't like a full-on cream cheese, but the muffins, I don't like to put anything on. But for the cake, we will add cream cheese, buttercream. Okay, it's been 40 minutes on the cake. We're gonna give it a test and see how it is. Still doughy. We're gonna go in for a little longer.
Nice. Yummy.
Weston wanted to come be a taste tester.
Really good.
They came out beautifully from the little silicone cups. They're ready to be devoured. The first cake is just about ready to come out of the oven, so we're gonna work on the second one. And this one is called a darn good chocolate cake. And it is what I call a doctored up cake mix. It is starting with a cake mix. We're gonna add some yummy things to it to make it a doctored up cake mix. Why mess with a good thing? Sometimes it's best to cook from scratch, sometimes a few shortcuts work really well too. So we're gonna start with one cake mix, devil's food cake. Now this cake is my dad's favorite, so since he's here with us this summer, I'm making this one. Next, we're gonna add the packet of jello. Also chocolate. Next is 4 large eggs. 4 eggs. One cup sour cream. See a pattern? Sour cream and cake makes it. Half a cup of warm water. Looking good. Next up is half a cup of oil. I'm using avocado oil. You can use whatever oil. I think the recipe calls for vegetable oil, but we're gonna use avocado. Not a success. Stuck a bit. Well, thank goodness this isn't the British Bake Off, because I would have just failed. I should have spent more time preparing my pan. Usually I can get it out just fine, but I think I rushed it a little bit. Thankfully I go for taste over looks. We'll be able to just put some frosting on it. It'll still taste great. I typically make this in a 9x13 pan or 2 round pans, and then it comes out a bit easier. Last ingredient, 1.5 cups chocolate chips. Gotta get this in the oven because Miss Violet woke up and I need to feed her a bottle. Try again. I put baking cocoa in this one instead of flour, so it doesn't turn it white. Hopefully this one doesn't stick. We'll see. Do our best. Okay, this recipe says 45 to 50 minutes, which is about the same as the banana cake. Let's get it in. You might see some unfamiliar faces and voices in the background of this video. My brother is here right now with his wife. She just took Violet, so I'm gonna keep going. I got one more recipe that I wanna make, and it has to stay in the fridge overnight, so let's get it started. Okay, this wouldn't be a proper bake-off if I didn't have a third recipe. So Bran muffins. Last year, my husband and I, Mark, went on an Alaska cruise from Vancouver up to Whittier, and on Princess Cruise Lines, they have a Bran muffin, and I absolutely loved it and came home and thought, I have got to make myself some Bran muffins. So I searched up Princess Bran muffins, and there was somebody on like a chat board that was like, I need my Princess Bran muffins. And this was the recipe that they posted as like the closest they could find, and it's pretty good, so we're gonna make some. Okay, so I am doubling this recipe again because if I'm gonna get the kitchen this dirty, I might as well double it. So we need 2 cups of boiling water and 2 cups of Bran cereal. Not sure why I'm doing all this baking on the hottest day of the year so far, but I needed to get these first 2 recipes done, and I'm just throwing in this third one because I've really enjoyed it. Okay, 2 cups Bran and then 2 cups boiling water. I'm gonna set that to the side. Let that get nice and soft. Let it cool. Now we're gonna do flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. This recipe also calls for buttermilk, which I don't have. I've never had it when I've made it, but you can make buttermilk. So we'll make some buttermilk with milk and some vinegar. I'm gonna take 4.5 cups of milk. I'm gonna heat it in the microwave for like 30 seconds just so it gets to kind of room temperature, and then we'll add the vinegar and it'll kind of curdle it. 5 cups all-purpose flour.
He was making some. You just came at the right time.
2 cups sugar. 4 teaspoons baking soda. I can't understand you. This is vinegar I'm adding to this milk to make it buttermilk because I don't have any buttermilk. It's gonna like curdle it. See, look, I just made it.
That's good.
It's all of a sudden, look at those chunks in there. It made buttermilk. We're good. It's not.
And Michelle.
Sure. Give me a spoon. Careful though. That bottom part's really hard. We might need like a, to break it up as it's gotten really mushy. Okay, last thing. So when we doubled this recipe, it pretty much took the whole box of Bran cereal, because you do add some more Bran. We got the ones that are softened, and now the ones that are not, we're gonna add it into our wet mixture.
Nope, still warm.
It's not quite done yet. I actually forgot to set the timer, so we're kind of just eyeballing it. A lot going on around here while I'm baking all this. This is just gonna be super duper full. Might have to just mix it by hand from here on out. Let's add in this soft Bran mixture. So these Bran muffins go in the refrigerator overnight. They can stay in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. You can just kind of make a couple at a time or make one in the morning for yourself. We're gonna put this into the refrigerator till tomorrow. Give it a little cap and put it away. That is one heavy bowl of batter. Now my countertop looks like some of the people's countertops on the Great British Baking Show. I feel like I'd fit right in. Woo! And I told you those muffins wouldn't last long. Let's get this cleaned up. Got it cleaned up. Just as the chocolate cake came out, it came out a lot better. Very stressed at the moment.
Okay.
That's solid. Good morning, friends. We're gonna get these Bran muffins in the oven. Just gonna add a little flaxseed meal onto the top. Just kind of looks pretty. Not necessary, but these are gonna be yummy. These are going in a 375-degree oven for 18 to 20 minutes.
Look, Brad.
Hi, sweetheart.
Is it time for her to have
In a minute. Just hold on.
Just put a bottle of lid.
I already have one on, sweetheart. Okay, these need to sit for 10 minutes after they come out of the oven, but they look really good. On a nice day like today, sure nice to be able to come out here and cook breakfast for everybody at once.
We can do hibachi style.
No. While I pumped this morning, I watched tips and tricks for cooking on your flat top griddle.
That's the last part I would check.
Wait,
Really, I mean, you don't have that many more. You have 1, 2, 3, 4.
How long is the movie? A drift motorcycle.
We first ordered Kiwi Co back in 2020 when our boys came home from school and we needed some extra projects to help with their science. And I recently ordered a 12-month subscription for Everett for a Christmas present, and we just really love any time that Kiwi Co boxes come.
So what are we building today?
We're building a shark. We have to put the pieces.
Okay. Then, now we're on 14. Oh, now we connect these to tail. Oh wow, it flips back and forth. That's interesting.
With 5 kids at varying ages, we enjoy all of their different kits, and even our little Violet gets to enjoy their panda crate now. Go ahead, open it up. Watch your hands. You push the buttons.
Press the button. Fit on both of them. Listen. You're trying to.
Kiwi Co delivers seriously fun learning for all ages right to your doorstep. They cover everything from science to geography, sensory play, and just great experiments for all ages. So you can order a monthly subscription like I did for Everett, or you can order individual Kiwi Co crates from the Kiwi Co store. One thing I love about the Kiwi Co crates is that there are multiple things within each one. So it's not just like a one and done project. There's a magazine, there's the project, there's usually an extension project, and then there's ideas on how to make the project go further. I find that my kids are just more creative in general when we pull out Kiwi Co crates. We have a URL down in the description below that will get you 50% off your first crate or 20% off of the Panda crates. Panda crates come every other month. All other crates come monthly if you do the subscription. So make sure to check them out down below. We're so grateful to be part of the Kiwi Co family because it just fosters a love of learning and fun in our kids.
I've ever seen in my life.
This is hard.
Hey Bennett, stop.
Oh, I did one.
And we think you'll love them too for your children or your grandchildren. So check them out in the link below and use our code for a discount. Back to baking. Okay, last step in this baking process, I need to make some frosting. I had to get out a different mixer because I realized my other bowl is still full of muffin mix in the fridge, so. 1 pack of cream cheese, and this is at room temperature. That's important. I'll do it upside down because that's prettier on that side. I flipped the banana one over because the top was really ugly. Well, friends, we are ready to enjoy these cakes. Thank you so much for baking with me today. If you want any of these recipes, I will link them down in the description below if you're wanting to make any of them. This can be our reference video for some of the cakes you'll see me make all the time because they're my favorites and they're tried and true. We love you guys and we are grateful for each and every one of you that spends time with us, and we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life.